This beautiful corset top was made by Vicky James Official on Instagram, and in today's video, I'll be showing you all how to recreate something similar to this embellishments done on the corset top. If you'll be interested, please make sure you're subscribed, like this video, share with a friend, and don't hesitate to drop your questions down in the comment section. Let's get started, guys. Welcome friends to the channel. Welcome to another video. I hope we all are having a wonderful day, week so far, month so far. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but thank you so much again for spending time with me in another tutorial. So like I must have shown us at the intro of today's tutorial, we are going to be trying our best to recreate the embellishment design that was done by that beautiful corset top made by Vicky James. You guys know that my channel and Vicky James designs are like 5 and 6. I love coming on here trying to, teach you guys how you can create wonderful embellishment designs on outfits. All right, so without beating about the bush, we are going to start off from the breast cup area of this particular corset top. Okay, we can see that a lot of activity is going on there, and from what I can deduce from what I'm looking at is I'm seeing some cloth stones, some teardrop cloth stones and some marquise cloth stones, as well as some fabric appliques. Okay, if you call appliques applique, please feel free to interpret what I'm calling appliqué as applique. Okay, there's no need for any form of argument on the pronunciation. All right, so I have different types of appliques here. Okay, I believe I must have shown us this before in a previous video. For people that are subscribed to the channel, this particular applique is not new to us. We must have seen it, but if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please make sure you're subscribed. All right, before you go, like this video, share with your friends. What I have here is what we call appliqué. For some people, depending on the city where you live in, some other people call it appliqué. They are all the same to me, so this is it. And I also have this other type as well. All the things I'm showing you right here are different types of appliqués. Some people might call this a panel. Okay, they might call it a panel. It depends. But these two items, I got this from a fabric or sewing accessories vendor called Appliqués by SAF. I'm going to leave the handle on the screen. Feel free to go check her out. She's based in Port Harcourt, by the way. Just in case you don't live in Port Harcourt, she ships nationwide, so you can reach out to her or just check around your local sewing accessories shop and ask them for this applique. You can take a screenshot as well. That's why I'm leaving my hand on the screen. While this other panel or applique, depending on what you choose to call it, I got it from a fabric and sewing accessories vendor called Appliqués Trims Tubo on Instagram. I'm also going to leave a handle on the screen. Go check her out. These two women are amazing business owners out here in Port Harcourt, and they sell good quality sewing accessories. I shop from the two of them interchangeably depending on what I'm trying to purchase. All right, so what I'm seeing on this particular corset from Vicky James is a combination of something like this. Okay, it looks like some kind of panel slash applique that was detached, and or is it what they call now, that was deconstructed and placed strategically around the breast cup area. So I have a particular tutorial where I talk extensively about these panels slash appliques, how to deconstruct them and all of that. If you're new here and you've not seen that video, I'll do my best to link it on the screen for you. Go check out that video. It's going to be valuable to you. Now that I've spoken about this, now that I've spoken about panels and appliques, I also have this one as well. I have just a couple of them spread all over my stash or my my closet here where I store my material. So I have a bunch of different ones. If you watch that video that I spoke about earlier, you will see all the ones I have in my collection. So I'm not going to deconstruct any of these ones, okay, just so I don't go about wasting stuff unnecessarily. I have this tiny little piece right here that I already deconstructed from this other one here. So it used to be larger than this, so I deconstructed it and got something like this. So we're just going to set this aside. Like I said, I could see some cloth stones on the outfit design. So I have this my pack of cloth stones here. Again, for those that are not new here, I believe you must have seen me use this, but I think I have a pack where I already have some that have been opened up. I don't want to have to tear that bag, so I'm just going to use this little one. I don't want to have to, because this bag is still kind of sealed. I'm yet to use it, so let me just open this up real quick for us. Cloth stones as well. I have a video where I talk, just watch. If you're new here and you are new to all these things that I'm talking about, I have a video called Stones, Gems, Accessories on here on my channel. I'll do my best to link it on the screen you can check out the link in the show notes, or if I'm able to do it, I'll pin it in the description bar for you guys, so feel free to go check it out, where I talk extensively about gems and accessories, embellishment stuff in general. So we are also going to be incorporating this into what we are trying to recreate. Okay, so I'm going to drop a couple of these here strategically, and then we're also going to do some 3D appliques, because on the shoulder portion, I'm going to leave a screenshot on the screen. We can see some wire work going on there, some 3D appliques using some copper wires, as well as some what's this stone called? They call this as well croc stone. I have these as well. This is another type of gem, and I'm going to be showing us how we are going to incorporate this into today's tutorial. The tutorial is going to be very detailed. I'm going to keep it as short and sweet as possible, so please make sure that you're following along and not getting distracted. Now that we've talked about all the panels, stones, and gems that we're going to be working with, I'm going to set this aside real quick while we work on the wire work portion of this video and the 3D appliques. For people that are new here, when it comes to handcrafting appliques, I have tutorials, multiple tutorials where I talk about it, but you cannot talk about 3D appliques without talking about something that we call copper wire. And if you're new here, you might not know what copper wire is. This item right here that I'm showing you is what we call copper wire. Copper wires come in different sizes. For those that are new here, again, I believe they are well educated on this topic. This is why it's very important for you to be subscribed to this channel. I do my best to share valuable tutorials, valuable content relating to sewing, beading, crafts, and all that stuff. So you can't talk about 3D appliques without talking about copper wire. And what I have here is the size 0.90 millimeters copper wire, just as shown on the screen. And I also have the 0.50 millimeters, 0.70 millimeters. I have quite a number of them, so I don't want to bore you guys with just showing you everything I have in my stash. So for the sake of this 3D stuff that we are talking about in this video, I'm going to be working with this 0.71 millimeters in gold, depending on the color of the crystals that you're using. So let me also give us some kind of explanation. If for my embellishment on my outfit, I am using stones that have this silver base. Let me bring out one sample just so what I'm saying makes sense to us. If I'm using maybe croc stones or claw stones, depending on what you choose to call this, that have a silver base like this, for everything to maintain a same color theme or metallic theme, if I'm working with copper wire, it will make more sense for me to use a silver copper wire to kind of blend with the metal that I have on this claw stone. If I decide to use something that has a golden bottom, okay, if the casing for my claw stone is golden and I want it to maintain the same, you know, metal theme and all of that, it makes more sense for me to use a golden copper wire as the metal, or as the wire for my 3D applique. But then again, on this outfit made by Vicky James, we can see that she did a combination of gold and silver. If you are doing a situation where you want to just combine different metals together, feel free to go off. But if you're trying to maintain a some sort of uniformity when it comes to the metals, please make sure that you're making the right decision when choosing the type of copper wire to use. I believe copper wires, there's the bronze one and the black one. I believe they come in colors as well. I'm yet to find those colored ones out here in Port Harcourt, but I think online, when I watch some of all these like international designers, I see that they use some copper wires that are colored, so I believe they come in different colors. All right, so now to create our 3D applique, just similar to what I have here on the screen with this corset top made by Vicky James, I'm just going to grab a piece of reinforced organza fabric that I have here. For my besties, my girlies that are always wondering, oh Funmibi, when you say reinforced, what do you mean? I've said this in multiple videos, but I'm just going to say it here again. I'm just saying, when I say reinforced fabric, I'm simply fusing fabrics together. And all that entails is I'll open up, let me just cite an example. So I have this little piece of fabric right here. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. If I was trying to reinforce this fabric right now, all I would do is open it up like this, okay? And then you grab something that we call hemming gum. This is what we call hemming gum, all right? I hope we are following. This hemming gum right here, let me just cite an example for us. I will just spread it in between right here, spread it all over. Can we see what I'm doing here? And then flip this other end over like this and take this like this as the hemming gum is inside it. I'll take it to my ironing board and give this a good press. What this does is it will fuse the two fabric, the front and the back like this. It will fuse it together and give the fabric more weight. It will make the fabric stronger. So don't let, whenever I say all these things, I think English is my problem. Should I start doing videos in pidgin or something so that my girlies will understand me? I'm just kidding, guys, but don't let the English that I'm using for all these things, don't let it scare you like, oh my god, reinforced fabric, what does she mean by it's nothing. Okay, just put hemming gum inside it, fold it over like this, and you need a random scrap fabric, okay? Because when you fold it over like this and you place your iron on it directly, your iron might burn, or it might just spoil the face of your iron. So get a cotton fabric or handkerchief, spread it over, wet the fabric a little bit, and iron. I've illustrated this in a previous video. This is why I say please try your best to watch videos as I go along so you don't miss out on any important information. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab this my reinforced organza fabric. So this organza fabric, I reinforced it by adding hemming gum to it. And what I want to also create is something similar to what I have here. Okay, you can see this leaf pattern. This pattern like this is made up of copper wire, as we can see, but you can make it into any shape. Like I always say, watch my 3D applique videos, the previous ones, and kind of see how to work around copper wires in general. But for the sake of today's tutorial, I'm going to start from scratch just so somebody does not get confused along the way. So I'm just going to roll out a little bit of copper wire. I'm using the 0.70 millimeters copper wire, okay, in gold. If you want to use silver, feel free to use silver. So I'm just going to roll it out real quick and then cut off just the quantity that I need. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this into 2 equal parts, like I'm doing right here, and then twist them over each other like so. For those that have seen my recent wire work tutorial where I showed us how to make a bridal hair vine, if you've not seen that video, go check it out. All I'm going to do is twist. And when it comes to twisting, in that video I did an illustration of how to get a perfect twist when twisting your wire work, or copper wire now, not wire work, when twisting your wire, copper wire together. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press this top portion. I want it to be very penciled out. I'm going to press it like I'm trying to compress the wire together. Don't be afraid. Okay, and once I've done that, I'm going to just open it up a little bit again to give me the shape that I'm going for. The beauty of working with copper wire is that you can mess around with it freely. Okay, make all the adjustments you want to make, and when you're satisfied with what you have, you can now stop. All right, so I'm going to use the combination of this silver one and this gold one, and then determine where I want to place it on this my fabric. Okay, I think what I want to first of all do is to cut out a little portion just so I can work freely without any form of constraints. Now that I have something like this, the next thing I'm going to grab now is my fabric glue. And for the sake of today's tutorial, I'm going to be working with the E7000 glue. All right, this glue is one of my favorites. For those that are new here, I have a video talking just about glues, how to choose the correct type of glue for the right type of project. Feel free to go check it out if you are new and you want to learn more. I'll do my best to leave it in the description bar or on the screen. All right, so the essence of this glue, you want to first of all press down your copper wire on the thing you are trying to attach it to. Okay, because we want to attach this copper wire to this fabric, I'm just going to press it down just so it lays flat. Okay, as flat as possible. Next thing I'm going to do is to open up this my glue and then apply some glue along the rim of this shape that I created using my copper wire. Voila. Now that I'm done, I'll just place this on this my fabric like so. Don't be afraid, press it down. Now that that is done, I'll pick up this golden one as well and then also do the same thing like so, and then go in again, stamp it on my fabric like so. Now that I have something like this, I'm just going to allow this dry down fully onto the fabric. And while working with your fabric glue as well, make sure that you cover as you go. Don't just leave it open. Okay, just so it doesn't dry up. I'm going to set this aside for a couple of minutes just to make sure that the copper wire dries down, or instead of waiting, the next thing I'm also going to go ahead to do just to embellish this as well is to apply some cloth stone. I said cloth stone. Is to apply some cup chain. If you are new here, this is what we call cup chain. I did not make it into this chain-like look. It was bought like this. It's typically sold in rows like this. All right, so I'm just going to grab some of this cup chain and then place it strategically on what I have here. So let me move this to this side. Voila guys, so everything I did here, all right, how I placed my cup chain on top of this shape that I have here, I'm going to repeat it on this other side. So now that I have something like this, depending on the quantity of this that you need for the outfit you are trying to embellish, you can just get a large piece of fabric, something like what I have here, and just do this all over, jig it, and then cut the number that you need. I'm just going to allow this sit for a while and allow it dry down. One thing I also saw from someone recently is that, you know, this acrylic UV LED the dryer that you basically put your hand into when you get your fingers done, for people that fix their nails a lot, some people use that actually for stuff like this. You just place this under the UV ray and allow it dry it down. I've never tried it, I only saw it online. So if that's something you are interested in exploring, feel free to try it out. If you already do that as well, let me know down in the comment section. So what I'm going to just do for my own is, I'm just going to let this, just set this aside. Let me turn it upside down like this for you guys to see. So I'm just going to let this sit down, and then afterwards we'll go ahead to trim off the excess fabric all around. The next thing we'll be working with is our copper wire. We're still on the matter of copper wire, but this time we'll be working with the size 0.50 millimeters copper wire. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let me just move it closer. This brand right here is very popular out here in Port Harcourt. Another one that I have been seeing of recent is this type here. This one, it usually has like non-tarnish written on the pack. I got this from Mr. Okoro. I believe I've talked about it in my recent July accessories haul video. So I'm just going to cut out a little quantity of this copper wire, just a little bit, to do the illustration that I want to do for us. Next thing I'm going to do is just fold again into 2 equal halves, like what I'm doing here. But then this time I'm going to create like a little hole at this center. Okay, can we see what is going on here? I've done this same style of wire work embellishments in a different video, the bridal hair vine video. You should really check out that video. I really went into detail in that video. So now that I have done this, I'm just going to twist. Okay, I'm twisting, or let me just flip this way and keep twisting and twisting. You want to create like a cute little stem situation for your copper wire. I want to have something that looks like this going on. Can we see this little loop situation here? Next thing we are going to do with this loop is to try and insert crockstone inside this loop, something like what we have here. Okay, so you want this to sit something like what we have here. Can we see how this looks? For this to happen, you need to get maybe your hot glue if you choose to, or again a glue like this, your E7000 glue. Apply it all over this hole that we have here. All right, once you've done that successfully, you just place this on top and allow it to sit and dry. You need to put in some finger action here. Okay, again, you just set this aside and allow it to dry down. All right, I hope we all got the gist of this. I know what I did was a bit rookie in its outlook, but this is what you are going for. You want to create something like a stem-like situation. As we can see on the shoulder of this particular corset top, we can see something like this, just a bunch of them clustered together. So you create multiple of this stem as well. I don't know why my camera is not focusing. You create multiple of this like stem-like situation with this crystal at the center, and then you now decide how you want to place them strategically on whatever it is that you are trying to embellish. So I'm going to do like 3 more of what I just did here, just so we can create a sample of this embellishment on that fabric that I showed us at the beginning of this tutorial. Okay friends, so this is what we have here. Let me just show us real quick. So I went ahead to just stick on these stones, and then I twisted the stems together. Okay, so I have 2 of these. If you want, you can also like go ahead one more time and then twist these 2 together again. The beauty of copper wire is that you just keep twisting and twisting them together till you get what you're looking for. Yeah, so after twisting the 4 of them together, this is what we have here, cute little stem. And I have my long nose plier that I can just use to press down the sticky edges of the wires. So imagine creating multiple of these all over your whatever it is that you're trying to design. Just create these little stems all over. Amazing. So now back to this piece of fabric that we have here. For those that will tell me, oh Funbi, how do I tack this onto fabric? I'm just going to cite the example of this fabric, try my best to tack this onto the fabric. But before we get to tacking this copper wire situation, let's talk about this. So for this particular embellishment that I have here, this trimming, applique, panel, whatever you choose to call it, in my last video where I talked about this, I was talking about, oh, I don't know whether to peel off this back piece right here, but my amazing women on the channel that watched that video, they told me, oh Funbi, don't peel it off. You are supposed to get your steam iron and press it onto the fabric. So I'm going to take this fabric now as is to my ironing board and then give this a good press on this just to test out. Let me just cut off the excess fabric over here. So I'm going to take this to my ironing board right away and use my steam iron, press it down, and then come back and show you guys what we have after doing that. Let's hope it works. I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, let's do this. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe that I've been dulling for the past how many years now. I've had this applique in my house for at least, I bought it just before the pandemic, right? I bought it a long time ago. And I used to think, oh, I'm supposed to use gum to glue it onto fabric. But guys, with my steam iron, this particular applique just attached to this fabric seamlessly. I should mention that I spread a cotton piece of fabric, okay? So this lining fabric, I just had like a scrap lining in the house. I spread it over this fabric and used my steam iron. And within less than a minute, this attached seamlessly. Oh my goodness. And just in case you're confused, this is the back. So this fabric right here, I fused felt material, okay, felt fabric and this yori material. I've talked about this material in my headband video, the headband I wore to Abuja when I shared that particular tutorial. I'm going to do my best. So many videos I'm talking about. If you don't see it on the show notes, please check out the description bar. I must have linked it there. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for educating me. Thank you for helping me know that this is possible. So now that I have this, the next thing I'm going to show us how to do. You can now decide where you want to place your cloth stones, okay? So say somewhere here, can we see what I did there? Somewhere here, somewhere here, you can place your cloth stone easily, yeah? And for that, I'm just going to quickly use glue, just so this tutorial moves really quickly. I don't know how long this will be now. We've been doing a lot of activity in the video, so I hope it's not too long. Most times if my videos are long, it's because I'm sharing a lot of information. And I know that you guys hardly ever complain about the length of my videos. So thank you so much to you guys. Shout out to each and every one of you. I love and appreciate you so very much. So now I'm just still using the glue of choice for today's video is the E7000 glue. Just in case for people that are always skipping my videos and they don't watch all the way through and they always have questions. Take notes. Before someone comes to accuse me of not showing things, I'm using the E7000. This is the glue I've been using so far. And if you know me very well, you know that I don't bank on glues because I am of the opinion that glues cannot be trustworthy. So if you're making this embellishment for an outfit, don't stop here. Go ahead and grab your, what's it called now, needle and thread, your beading needle and thread, and tack this down. I've shared how to tack cloth stone onto fabric in a separate video. I'll do my best to link it either on the show notes or in the description bar, so feel free to go check it out. Now that we are done with this, let's just set this aside. I'm going to come back to this one that we worked on earlier, and then I'm going to trim off. By now, I'm sure it even feels very hard, so it's pretty dry. So I'm going to just cut this off, the SX, I say SX, the XX, what am I saying XX? The excess fabric on it, I'm just going to cut it off. Guys, talking, this YouTuber work, you're doing a lot of talking and talking and talking, so chances are you start to mispronounce words. Voila, guys. You see what we have here? Amazing. So this method of creating 3D applique is another vibe, okay? Let me know, do you like this style? Comment down below. Let me know if you like this style of creating 3D appliques. So I'm just going to set this aside again and then come to this second one and then also repeat the same thing, cut off the excess fabric on the side. Voila, guys. So this is what we have here. Amazing, amazing. I can now go ahead and still twist this together just to create one single piece. Can we see what we have here? Amazing. Now picture this, attaching this as well, somewhere here. Just going ahead to just attach this to this point right here. And then go ahead with this one as well. Yeah, somewhere here as well. Can we see what we have going on here? So imagine doing multiple of all these different forms of embellishment. The reason why it's kind of hard for me to illustrate is because I'm doing this just for educational purposes, so I might not be able to show you, but let me just grab that my trusty little breast cup that I'm always using for illustrations for you guys. I'm just going to grab that real quick to do this illustration for you guys. So imagine, say this my breast cup right now. I'll just grab this now. Please use the power of your imagination, and this as well, and then just stack them or place them on top of each other like so, and then get my needle and thread. Let me just illustrate. I have my fishing line threaded here. So say something like this. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and then tack. For my people that are always saying, how do I attach this to an outfit? This is how you go about it. You have to do this, you know, a couple times. Can we see that this is already sitting? So you are doing this a few more times until this thing is sitting perfectly where you want it. Okay? So like I always say, it's not rocket science, guys. It's just your ability to think of ways. You see how this is sitting on this breast cup? This is just an example, okay? So do this. Same thing I did here for this kind of applique here as well. You get your needle and thread. You can use fishing line for this work because fishing line is relatively strong. You can use fishing line to just sew this onto whatever portion of outfit or whatever it is they are making. I can't really say, but for the sake of today's tutorial, we're talking about dressmaking, right? So you just sew this all over, make multiple of them and use it to embellish your work. When you see people like Vicky James and her designs, no doubt she's a talented, you know, designer, but a lot of her work is just her ability to become very creative with things that she wants to design. I have to disconnect this from that piece of breast cup. So coming back here again, you could just place this here, place this here. I don't even know how to place this now, but let me do something like this. Yeah, again, I'm going to grab that my needle and thread and just tack this down here, just so that we get the vibe of what I'm trying to illustrate. So let me grab my needle and thread and then sew this onto this piece of fabric. If you've been enjoying this video so far, please remember to hit the like button, guys. That's how you support me. Please remember. I know for some of us we forget after we've learned, we just, you know, click out of the video, but please help me help the work that I do by hitting the like button, just so I get feedback from you guys that you guys got value from watching this video. So now I have my fishing line. I hope you guys can see it anyway, but my fishing line and my beading needle in size 12. You can use any size of beading needle you like. For this portion, I don't know, you might be able to get away with using hand needle, but for my newbies, there's something we call beading needle, okay? And I have a video as well talking extensively about beading needles. Please go check it out. I'll leave it in the description bar or on the screen. Or you could also check the comment section. I might pin some of these things in the comment section for you. Just look around, look at the comment section, look at the description. And if there's anything you need the link for it, and maybe I didn't talk about it or I didn't drop it, please feel free to drop me a comment so I can reply your question with the link that you're looking for, all right? So I'm just here trying to sew this. Can you see? It's already attached, but you have to do that multiple times just to make sure that it doesn't move around. Some people might say, first of all, glue it down. Use a little dollop of glue to glue that applique down that you've created before sewing. Just whatever works for you guys, do that and just make sure that your work is sitting pretty. The aim is to create something that looks very, very aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, okay? All right, so I'm just going to sew this down real quick. Now that I've done this one, I'm going to grab this, my other leaf, and also tack it down real quick. So I'm just going to finish up my stitch right here by just knotting it up real quick so we can move on. So this is what we have here. I hope we all can see. Let me just zoom out a little more. This is it. Alright guys, so this is what we have here. Can we see how gorgeous this is? And the beauty of this 3D applique is that you can twist it into any shape of your choice. You know, make it stand, make it lie flat and all that jazz. And this looks absolutely stunning. So this now, because this is just for tutorial purpose, you can do more of this applique that I have here. Just deconstruct it. Where's that main one again? Let me just show us real quick. You deconstruct more and then place them strategically until you're happy with what you have, depending on what it is that you're trying to design. And the beauty of this is that it's very easy peasy, you know, lemon squeezy to attach to your fabric, okay? You just deconstruct it, get your steam iron, get your cotton fabric, spread it over and iron real quick, and everything is done. Simple as ABC. Same thing for this wire work here. Create multiple of it, use it to embellish your outfit, and what you have will be incredibly stunning. And for this wire part that is poking out, you can mask it, yeah? You can even get some of this, place it on top of this wire portion right here, and then iron it down and cover up the stem of your copper wire that you used in creating these leaves, okay? Maybe just for the sake of today's tutorial, let me just illustrate. Let me cut this off and then iron this down and show you guys what we have. I need to find my scissors. Oh my goodness, okay. So I went ahead to cut off this cute little portion right here. I'm going to try my best to just stick it in here. How do I place this now? I'll take this to my ironing board and then press this down here, just so this portion right here, I hope we can see what I'm trying to illustrate. So this portion right here where the stem of this our copper wire is, just so it doesn't show and it's not, you know, an eyesore. So let me do that real quick. I'll take this to my ironing board and come back to show you guys. So can we see here now? I've covered up this portion where the stem of the copper wire is showing, and this is what we have here. We have some wire work, some 3D appliques, some regular, you know, panels that I deconstructed and pasted here, and then we have some cloth stones right here. Let me dim my light a little bit so you see how this sparkles in the dark. Yeah, I mean, take a look at this. Imagine being in a dark room with an outfit that was embellished using this type of style. Your clients will just be glistening and shining and looking incredibly stunning. So look at this. Everything that we did here was what was incorporated into this gorgeous outfit on the screen. Again, that dress was, or that corset top was made by Vicky James Official on Instagram. Everything we did here was what was used and placed strategically on this corset blouse, and it looks absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Finally, if you've not hit the subscribe button yet, please join us by hitting the subscribe button. If you haven't liked this video, now will be a fantastic time to hit the like button and become a part of us. Thank you guys so much for always supporting me and everything that I come on here with. It's an honor to serve you guys. I'm so grateful and thankful for the community that we have on here on YouTube. Feel free to share this video with a friend, someone that you think will find this kind of content useful. And yeah, friends, I cannot wait to see you in another awesome tutorial very soon. Bye bye.